Okay.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Okay. Hi guys, it's Ksenia. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing my very first perfume haul of 2023. Now I know what you're thinking, didn't you just do a declutter video and said that you were gonna like cut back on buying perfumes? Yes I did. But in my defense, all of these perfumes were purchased way into 2022, some of them during the holidays when all of those like gift sets were coming out. And then some of these were even purchased way before even the holidays. So I still have stuck to my word on just not purchasing a ton of perfumes, and I haven't. Actually, that was a lie. I bought one perfume this year. I'll show it a little bit later. But that is literally the one and only perfume I have purchased this year. I'm making it seem as if this year has like gone on for so long. Girl, it's January 14th. You only lasted 2 weeks. But in my defense, I feel like I'm doing a little bit better. Okay, I purchased that perfume with the gift card that I got for the holidays. So technically, it was a 2022 purchase, if you want to think of it that way. And if you do see any more hauls, which you probably are gonna see, that's because I still have more perfumes that I haven't even shown you guys that were purchased in 2022 that I just haven't made videos on. So I'll still be doing these hauls, but it doesn't mean that I'm buying them currently, if that makes sense. So that's kind of what this haul is. One more thing, if my hair looks extremely oily, that's because it is. I have an oil treatment in right now because my hair is not doing great. So if I look like a greasy mess, that's because I am a greasy mess. All right, with all that being said, before we get into this video, please make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and turn your post notifications on, and let's get started. All right, I'm gonna get the sets out of the way. Now, I already filmed this video. I do this so many times where I finish filming an entire video just to go and import it on my computer and realize that there is no audio. It's literally the worst. I feel like if you make videos, that has probably happened to you at least once, and you know it's literally the most annoying thing that could happen. But anyways, I'm saying that because the first 3 perfumes I'm going to show you guys were purchased as gift sets, and they all came in these nice big boxes with pretty packaging, but I showed that in the first video and then I threw them away. So now all I have is the product with no packaging. Perfume set number 1 is of Kenneth Cole Blush. So this set came with the perfume. Now it is a really small perfume. I think it's only a 1 fluid ounce, but that's okay. I think the whole set was like $20. It comes with the travel size perfume, which is a spray, so that's a bonus. And then it also comes with the body spray, which is like a pretty decent size. I feel like you can just throw these two in your purse. So Kenneth Cole Blush, I think, is another flanker to the Kenneth Cole line. I know that there's a Kenneth Cole Black. There's also a Kenneth Cole White, which I have the white one. I don't think I've ever smelled the black. I may have smelled it. I've just never purchased it, but you guys know, if you watched any of my previous video, I do really love the Kenneth Cole White. And so when I saw this in this pretty like blush pink packaging, the fact that it's called blush is very fitting, obviously. But really what drew me in is once I looked up the notes, because the notes are right up my alley. If you know me, you know I love really sweet perfumes. Berry-like scents, sweet, sugary, girly. That's kind of my thing. So let me first read off the notes and then I'll get into what I think this perfume smells like. So this has top notes of sugar, raspberry, orange, pear blossom, middle notes of peony, jasmine, tuberose, and base notes of vanilla, patchouli, and white musk. I pretty much love all of those notes. Apart from the patchouli and white musk, those notes had to be done really well for me to like them, and in this one they're done really well because I don't even really detect them, to be completely honest. I smell all of the other notes, which I love. So it has sugar and raspberry in the top notes, and that tells me that it's going to be a fruity, sugary scent, and that's exactly what it is. It's pretty, like that's the best way I can describe it. Pretty, feminine, girly. It definitely reminds me of the color pink. If you guys are into Ariana Grande's Ari or Sweet Like Candy, I wouldn't call this a complete dupe of those. I do feel like this is a little bit more elevated and it smells a lot more like a designer scent. I mean, technically it is a designer scent, but the reason why I'm mentioning those two is because this definitely falls in the vicinity of those scents. So if you like either of those scents, I think you will love this. Like, this is basically those, but like even more elevated, and it has a little bit of like this sexy touch to it. I really love this. To me, it smells like pink powdery candy. I totally get the sugar, I totally get the raspberry. There's a tiny bit of like this tangy element. I'm assuming that's coming from the little bit of orange in here, but I wouldn't call it like a citrus scent. And then I think just the combination of some of those florals kind of gives this like a little bit of a powdery touch, but the florals in here are very sweet florals. So you're not going to get those florals like predominantly in here at all. It's mainly dominated by the sweet notes, which for me, that's amazing because that's what I look for in fragrances. So yeah, Kenneth Cool Blush gets a 10 out of 10 for me. I'm not really sure too much about the staying power. Like I know I always get comments about how I don't really comment on staying power of perfumes a lot. And to be honest, that's because, I mean, if I notice right away that a perfume has really good lasting power, then I will mention it. But I sometimes don't mention it just because that is like the last thing I look for in a perfume. I mean, if a perfume has like completely bad like lasting power, like it literally lasts 5 minutes, then yes, I will mention it. But for most like perfumes, I feel like they last an average amount of time. So I don't always comment on lasting power just because for me, it's not the most important thing. I have my own little ways of how I make perfumes last. So that's why it's not the first thing that comes out of my mouth. But I'm going to try to be better about mentioning lasting powers. I just can't with this one yet just because I haven't tested it enough. But scent-wise, 10 out of 10. All right, moving on to the next set. I also got this during the holidays. I was seeing this perfume a lot floating in all the discount stores. And I pretty much always see it kind of like year-round. It's always something that comes up. It's a classic perfume. And I have definitely owned this in the past, but I wanted it back in my collection just because I feel like this is such a classic scent. Do I even need to say the name? I feel like every girl has owned Viva La Juicy at some point in their lives. Like this is an iconic scent. I feel like a lot of us were using this maybe like almost a decade ago. I definitely was. I remember using this back in like high school, middle school. I was using this a ton and also smelling it all around me. And this is just a classic scent. I mean, obviously it's not the most original at this point just because it's been worn for years and years and years. But that doesn't really say much for me because if I like a scent, I don't really care how popular it is. And that's how I feel about this. This is just so good. Viva La Juicy is just, it's a scent that you know if you wear it, you're going to get compliments. Like it just smells good. There's nothing that you can say about this perfume in regards to it smelling bad because I don't think anybody can deny how good this smells. Viva La Juicy is just too good. I have just bought this and I've already made a little dent in it. It's not like a significant dent, but I've only had this in my collection for not even a month at this point. And I've used it so much already because it's one of those scents where it's just such a go-to. It's a scent you could wear to go out. It's a scent you could wear on a date night. It's a scent you could wear, you know, just going about your daily life and running your daily errands because it's just not too much or too little. It's just a perfect scent that will make you smell amazing. It's very feminine. It's sweet. It's got berries in it. It's got caramel, praline, vanilla. It's very sweet. But those florals also give it a little bit more of an elevated touch. It's not just a sweet fragrance. Like there's definitely a little bit more to it. And this little set came with a little lotion of it as well. And the last set that I have to show you guys is right here. This is Diesel Loverdose. Now this is the original Diesel Loverdose. There are flankers to this. I don't know if there's more than one, but I do have one of the flankers of this, which is Loverdose Red Kiss, and the bottle looks exactly like this, but the heart is red instead of purple. And if you watch my channel regularly, you saw me haul that. I think I hauled it like maybe a year ago, and I've always talked about it ever since hauling it just because it has been a scent that has stuck around in my collection even when I've done declutters and I go through my perfumes and kind of like assess what I need to get rid of. It's something that has always stayed with me because it is such a good scent. It's really sexy, and it's basically Black Opium's even sexier sister. I think it has some like chocolatey notes, but the original Loverdose, which is this one, is a little bit different. So this also has a bit of a similarity to Black Opium, but this also smells very similar to Lolita Lampica. I feel like this is basically the love child of Lolita Lampica and Black Opium because it has that sweetness, that richness, just that deep, sweet, sexy scent that Black Opium has, just minus the coffee. But then you get the licoricey, star anise sort of feel that Lolita Lampica has. And so basically if you put those fragrances together, you get Diesel Lover Dose. It's so good. It's so sexy. It has like this deep vanilla ambery sort of dry down, a little bit woody, but I feel like the licorice definitely stands out in here. This came in a set with the little body lotion, and this entire set was only like $24 at, I think, TJ Maxx. If you did see my declutter video, I did say in that video about how I'm trying to be a little bit more picky when I bring in new perfumes in my collection, just because my collection is huge and I don't want to just bring in perfumes that I somewhat love but I don't like love. So for me to add these perfumes in my collection, that really says something about them and what I think about them. All right, the next perfume that I have chosen to add to my collection is a perfume that I'm not just adding in my collection, it is a perfume that I'm re-adding to my collection because I've gotten rid of this perfume once and I recently just fell in love with the scents all over again purely because of this body oil. I feel like a lot of people are not aware of this entire line. I don't think it was made that popular even when they introduced it. I don't think I've seen a single person mention this line. But if you guys don't know, a little bit ago, I think maybe a month or two ago, I'm not exactly sure when she released it, but it's fairly recent, Ariana Grande came out with some body care items. Now, I'm not really sure about all the other products in this entire line, what they are, I don't know, but I basically kind of like accidentally stumbled upon this. One day I was in Ulta and I saw a stand of all these products. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, all of the products in the body care line are scented with God is a Woman. And I already knew what the scent smelled like. I have owned the perfume in the past. I did an entire like first impression review on it. If you want to see that video, I will link it up here. But basically after that point, I kept it around for a little bit, noticed I wasn't using it, and then I gave it away. But just for absolutely no reason, I went and picked this product up and I just put it on the back of my hand, not thinking anything about it. And I was like, whoa, that smells really good. And that was kind of like my initial first impression. I was like, I don't remember this scent smelling like really good, but I'm like really liking it right now. And then I go outside of the store. My husband was waiting for me in the car. I go in and he was like, you smell amazing. Like something smells really good. And after that point, I kept smelling my hand. It would not go away. And what's even crazier is after we had gone to Ulta, we had gone to go eat a seafood boil. Now, if you've ever had a seafood boil before, you know you get your hands dirty. It's like very fragrant food. It's like garlicky and all those things. So very fragrant. And even through that, after I had eaten that food and I had thoroughly washed my hands, I could still smell the scent. Like it had just lingered on and it smelled so good. I could not stop smelling it. And the next day I was like, okay, that's it. I'm gonna go and buy this oil because it is so good. The scent is so strong. Like it's even stronger than the perfume, I feel like. This is the body oil, and the oil itself, like the formula, I think is really nice. It gives you a really nice glow, but I mean, all oils will give you a glow because it's oil. So because I fell in love so deeply with this scent and my husband loved it so much, I was like, I'm gonna go pick up the perfume again. Very unique scent. This has been like my go-to gym scent lately. Just because if you go to the gym, you don't want to wear anything that's too obnoxious or offensive and it's just gonna be too much, you know? Like people are trying to work out. They're not trying to breathe in like strong perfumes. Like that's not what the gym is about. But I still like to smell like good. And this perfume lasts throughout my entire gym session. When I'm like sweating, it gets even better somehow when I'm sweating. I know that there is no sour apple note anywhere in this perfume, at least listed. But when I smell this, all I smell is a sour apple lollipop. That's all I get. And there's no sour apple, there's actually pear in here, which maybe I'm mistaking that for a sour apple somehow, but it just smells like a Granny Smith green apple, but a lollipop. Because it's like sweet and almost candy-like. It has a slight like little drop of the DNA of Cloud in it. Just a little bit though. It's not too similar or really similar at all to Cloud. It's a completely different scent, but it does have a little bit of that really unique Cloud Baccarat Rouge-y vibe to it, just slightly. But it's also, like I said, mixed in with that pear, and then you also get Turkish rose in it, which I do feel like the rose in here is pretty prominent, but in a really good way. And I'm not somebody that says that very often because rose scents and me, we don't mix. But just the combination with the pear and the rose and the Madagascar vanilla, it's also a little bit woody because of that like sandalwood. Have literally no perfume like it in my collection, and I own, like, I don't even know at this point, almost 200 perfumes. I'm glad that it's back in my collection. And what I love to do is obviously wear these two together. I put on the oil and then this on top, and then the scent will literally be indestructible. It will not leave your side. And that's how I like my scent. Okay, I have another Juicy Couture perfume in this haul. I think I've been in a really like nostalgic mood lately because I bought the Vive La Juicy scent, which is a very like classic scent that I used to own a long time ago. And now I bought this. So this is the perfume that I mentioned in the beginning of this video that I bought this year. First of all, I've wanted to own this scent, or I guess re-own it. I literally bought this perfume maybe 8, 9 years ago, maybe more. In fact, now that I think about it, I think I had just started high school when I had this perfume. Like, I think I was a freshman in high school when I had this perfume for the first time, and I remember loving it. I had like a little tiny, like 1 fluid ounce of it, and it was like my cherished perfume. It was all I wore, and I was obsessed with it. And I have just been craving this scent back in my collection. I feel like this is another scent, just like Vive La Juicy, where it's classic, and it's also a scent that is so well loved and just well received. And I've been wearing this one a lot lately. I got the big boy bottle of this. This is just the original Juicy Couture. The way that this smells just, it puts me in my feels every single time. This scent is very white floral. And although normally I wouldn't be somebody that gravitates to like a strictly floral scent, there are those very few in between like strictly floral scents that I absolutely love, and that's just because of how it's combined with the other notes that are in the composition of the perfume. In here you get tuberose, you get lily, you get rose hip, but you also get a lot of really nice fruity scents in it. You get watermelon in here. I don't smell that. I also don't smell the passion fruits. Don't really smell the green apple. I smell a lot of the florals more than anything. But then, once this dries down in those base notes, you get creme brulee as a note. You get caramel, you get vanilla. Those make it seem like this would be a really nice and sweet, deeply gourmand scent. It's not that. It is a lot more floral than it is gourmand, but because it has those sweet notes, it makes it so that those florals don't completely dominate. Every time I spray this on, I just feel so feminine, and it's kind of classy, but it's also kind of sexy. A perfume that this really reminds me of is Burberry London, which I also have in my collection. And I think the reason why I love both this and that perfume so much is because there's scents that bring a lot of like nostalgia to me, so I think that's a big reason why I love them. But I also just love the scents, and the lasting power of this is really good. A lot of Juicy Couture scents are not going to be the best at lasting power. Like, I feel like Vive La Juicy, although I love this scent, it's not the longest lasting perfume. It's about average, I would say, but this guy, this will last. All right, and then the very last perfume that I have to haul is Victoria's Secret Very Sexy Oasis. So this is really random, but I've had this in my collection for a really long time, believe it or not. I just have never hauled it. It's just been in my little corner of perfumes that I need to make videos on, and so I haven't even revisited it then because I've just been planning to make this video and it's just never happened. So I've recently been actually wearing it, and I forgot how much I really like this. It smells so good. This perfume, I don't even know how to describe it, but I think what persuaded me to get this perfume is I think I was just scrolling on my For You page on TikTok, you know, as you do. And this girl came up and she was saying how this perfume had got her like 1 million compliments from men, and like she just was getting all these compliments, and she's like, this is literally the best perfume I have ever tried. And then I think she had made her friend try it, and she was also getting 1 million compliments. So I was like, let me go and see what that perfume is about. So I went to Victoria's Secret and I smelled it and I was pleasantly surprised. First of all, let me just say this perfume smells really high-end to me. Like, it does not smell like a Victoria's Secret scent at all. It smells like a high-end designer scent. I don't know how to describe it. It's a little bit sweet, it's a little bit floral, it's slightly powdery, like this white musky powderiness. It slightly almost reminds me of Replica's Beach Walk, but it's not as sunscreeny as Beach Walk is. It's a million times better. There's only 3 notes that are listed in this perfume, and those are tuberose, camellia, and orange blossom. It's very feminine, I'm thinking of the color white every time I smell this, and I don't know if that's just influenced by the color of the bottle, but it's like this warm, powdery, just white smelling scent. Like, how does a color, which white isn't even a color, but how does a color have scent to it? I don't know, but that's just how I'm associating this. It just smells like the color white. I don't know how to go further on that statement. They really outdid themselves with this perfume. I would say it's one of the best Victoria's Secret scents ever. It does not smell like a scent that came from Victoria's Secret. It smells really, really high end. So that concludes this haul. I hope you guys enjoyed these perfumes. A very random bunch of perfumes, but I hope you guys enjoyed them. If you bought any perfumes in these first 2 weeks of 2023, let me know in the comments so that I don't feel alone from buying that Juicy Couture scent, even though I said I would stop buying, and here I am buying the first 2 weeks of 2023. But I swear I'm done for a while. Okay.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video.